My dear friends, our topic today is never complain and never explain. And I assure you, this principle holds within it the very key to unlocking the infinite potential that resides within each and every one of you. Let us begin by understanding that the world we perceive around us is nothing but a reflection of our own consciousness. Everything you see, hear, touch, and experience is a manifestation of your inner state. Your thoughts, beliefs, and assumptions are the architects of your reality. And it is within this context that we must approach our discussion of never complaining and never explaining. When you complain, what are you really doing? You are affirming to yourself and to the universe that something is wrong, that you are a victim of circumstances beyond your control. But I say to you, there are no circumstances beyond your control, for you are the operant power in your world. You are God pushed out into expression, and God does not complain about his creation. Consider for a moment the biblical statement, and God saw everything that he had made, and behold, it was very good. This is not merely a poetic description of creation. It is a fundamental truth about the nature of consciousness and reality. When you complain, you are denying this truth. You are saying, in essence, I see what I have made, and behold, it is not good. But, my dear friends, I urge you to recognize the power of your own imagination. For it is through your imagination that you create your reality. When you complain, you are imagining undesirable circumstances and giving them life through your attention and belief. You are using the divine gift of imagination to create that which you do not want. Instead, I implore you to use your imagination wisely. Rather than complaining about what is, imagine what could be. See the world as you wish it to be, not as it appears to be. For appearance is nothing more than a shadow or reflection of past thoughts and beliefs. It has no power to persist unless you breathe life into it through your continued attention and acceptance. Now let us turn our attention to the second part of our principle. Never explain. When you feel the need to explain yourself, what are you really doing? You are assuming that others have the power to judge you, to approve or disapprove of your actions and decisions. But I say to you, no one has this power unless you grant it to them. I am that I am. This is not merely a statement of existence. It is a declaration of your divine nature. You are that which you conceive yourself to be. There is no higher authority, no external judge who can define you or limit you. When you explain yourself, you are denying your own divinity and placing your power in the hands of others. Moreover, when you explain, you are often doing so from a place of doubt or insecurity. You are, in essence, saying, I am not sure of myself, so I need your validation. But I tell you, there is no need for validation from anyone or anything outside of yourself. You are complete and whole as you are, a perfect expression of the divine. Consider the lilies of the field, how they grow. They toil not, neither do they spin. Yet Solomon in all his glory was not arrayed like one of these. The lily does not explain its beauty or justify its existence. It simply is in all its perfection and glory. And so it is with you, my dear friends. You need not explain or justify your being. You simply are perfect and complete as you are. Now, some of you may be thinking, but Neville, surely there are times when we must explain ourselves for practical reasons. And to this I say, there's a vast difference between communicating necessary information and feeling compelled to justify your existence or your choices. The former comes from a place of clarity and purpose. The latter from a place of insecurity and doubt. Let us delve deeper into the spiritual implications of this principle. When you complain or explain, you are operating from the level of the outer man, the man of flesh who sees himself as separate from God and subject to external forces. But I say to you, you are not this outer man. You are the inner man, the Christ within the God self. In the Bible we read, the kingdom of God is within you. This is not a metaphor or a poetic flourish. It is a literal truth about the nature of your being. The kingdom of God, the realm of infinite possibility and perfect creation, resides within your own consciousness. When you complain, you are denying this kingdom. When you explain, you are seeking it outside of yourself. Instead, I urge you to turn within, to seek first the kingdom of God, knowing that all else will be added unto you. For when you dwell in this inner kingdom, when you align yourself with your true nature as a divine creator, there's nothing to complain about and nothing to explain. You simply are, creating your world through the power of your imagination and your assumptions. Let us consider for a moment the story of Job. Here was a man who suffered greatly, who lost everything he held dear. And what did he do? He complained bitterly, questioning God and seeking explanations for his misfortune. But what was the result of his complaints and his demands for explanation? Did they change his circumstances? Did they bring him peace or understanding? No, my friends. It was only when Job ceased his complaints and stopped demanding explanations that his fortune was restored. When he turned within, when he aligned himself with his true nature as a divine creator, his world transformed. And so it is with each of you. Your complaints and explanations do not serve you. They keep you bound to the very circumstances you wish to change. Instead, I invite you to adopt a new attitude, a new state of consciousness, one in which you see yourself as the author of your life story, not its victim, one in which you recognize your own divinity and act from that recognition. For when you do this, when you truly embody the principle of never complaining and never explaining, you step into your power as a conscious creator. Imagine for a moment a world in which you never complain, in which you accept every circumstance, every event, every person as a perfect expression of your own consciousness. Imagine the peace this would bring, the clarity, the sense of purpose and power. This is not a fantasy, my dear friends. This is your birthright, your true nature. And now imagine a world in which you never feel the need to explain yourself, in which you stand secure in your own being, confident in your choices and actions, free from the need for external validation or approval. Imagine the freedom this would bring, the authenticity, the joy of being truly and completely yourself. This is the world that awaits you when you embrace the principle of never complaining and never explaining. It is a world of infinite possibility, of divine creativity, of perfect self-expression. And it is available to you right now. But how, you may ask, do we begin to live this principle? How do we overcome the habitual patterns of complaint and explanation that have become so ingrained in our daily lives? The answer, my friends, lies in the practice of mindful awareness and deliberate imagination. Begin by becoming aware of your thoughts and words. Notice when you feel the urge to complain or explain. But instead of judging yourself for these impulses, simply observe them with detachment. See them for what they are: old patterns, old states of consciousness that no longer serve you. Then in that moment of awareness, make a choice. Choose to shift your attention from what is to what could be. Use your imagination to create a new scenario, a new outcome, a new state of being. For remember, your imagination is the very workshop of creation. What you imagine with feeling and conviction must inevitably manifest in your outer world. If you find yourself in a situation that tempts you to complain, pause, take a deep breath, and then ask yourself, how would I see this situation if I were truly aligned with my divine nature? How would I respond if I knew, with absolute certainty, that I am the creator of my reality? Similarly, when you feel the urge to explain yourself, stop. Take a moment to center yourself in your own being. Remember who you truly are, a divine creator, perfect and complete as you are. From this place of inner knowing, ask yourself, do I really need to explain? Or can I simply be secure in my own truth? As you practice this awareness and make these conscious choices, you will begin to notice a shift in your consciousness. The urge to complain and explain will gradually diminish. In its place, you will find a growing sense of peace, of power, of alignment with your true self. But remember, my dear friends, this is not about suppressing your feelings or denying your experiences. It is about transforming them through the power of your imagination and your assumptions. It is about recognizing that every experience, every circumstance is an opportunity for growth and self-realization. When you embrace this principle of never complaining and never explaining, you are not turning away from the world. On the contrary, you are engaging with it more fully, more consciously than ever before. You are recognizing your role as the co-creator of reality. And you are accepting the responsibility and the joy that comes with that recognition. Consider the words of Scripture. Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. This is not merely a suggestion. It is a description of the very process we are discussing. As you renew your mind, as you shift your consciousness from complaint and explanation to acceptance and creation, you are literally transforming yourself and your world. And as you transform, you will find that your outer world begins to reflect this inner change. The circumstances that once prompted complaint will begin to shift. The people and situations that once demanded explanation will fade away or transform. For remember, the outer world is nothing but a reflection of your inner state. But this transformation is not something that happens to you. It is something that happens through you as you. For you are the operant power, the creative principle in your world. You are the one who must choose moment by moment to align with your true nature as a divine creator. This choice, this alignment, is not always easy. The habits of complaint and explanation are deeply ingrained in our collective consciousness. The world around you may seem to demand that you explain yourself, that you join in the chorus of complaint, but I say to you, stand firm in your truth. Be steadfast in your commitment to never complain. For in this commitment, you are not merely changing your behavior. You are changing your very being. You are stepping into your power as a conscious creator, as a divine being in human form. And as you do so, you are lighting the way for others to do the same. Imagine a world in which every individual recognized their own divinity, their own creative power. A world in which complaint was replaced by conscious creation, and explanation was replaced by authentic self-expression. This is the world we can create, my dear friends, through our individual and collective commitment to this principle. But let us be clearly, this is not about creating a perfect world in the conventional sense. It is about recognizing the perfection that already exists within every moment, every circumstance, every experience. It is about aligning ourselves with the divine flow of life, trusting in the perfect unfolding of our individual and collective stories. When you truly embrace this principle, you will find that there's nothing to complain about, because everything is serving your growth and evolution. You will find that there's nothing to explain, because you are perfectly and completely yourself in every moment. This does not mean that challenges will cease to exist. But it does mean that you will approach these challenges from a place of power and creativity, rather than victimhood and reactivity. You will see every obstacle as an opportunity, every setback as a setup for a comeback. And as you move through your life in this way, never complaining and never explaining, you will find that you become a beacon of light for others. Your very being will radiate the truth of who you are, inspiring others to recognize and claim their own divine nature. For remember, my dear friends, we're all one. We are all expressions of the one divine consciousness. When you transform yourself, you are contributing to the transformation of the entire world. When you refuse to complain, you are raising the vibration of the collective consciousness. When you refrain from explaining, you are affirming the inherent worth and divinity of every being. So I urge you, my beloved listeners, to take this principle to heart, to make it not just a practice, but a way of life, to embody the truth that you are a divine creator, perfect and complete as you are, to live from the knowing that your world is a reflection of your consciousness, and that you have the power to shape that consciousness in every moment. Never complain, for in complaining you deny your own creative power. Never explain, for explaining you deny your own divine completeness. Instead, create, express, be. For in doing so, you are fulfilling your highest purpose and realizing your true nature as God pushed out into expression. Let every moment be an opportunity to align with this truth. Let every breath be a conscious choice to embody your divine nature. Let every thought, every word, every action be a testament to your commitment to never complain and never explain. And as you do this, watch and wonder as your world transforms. Marvel at the synchronicities that begin to unfold in your life. Delight in the joy and peace that naturally arise when you're aligned with your true self. Embrace the challenges that come your way, knowing that they are opportunities for growth and self-realization. For in truth, my dear friends, there is nothing to complain about and nothing to explain. There is only the glorious adventure of being and becoming, of creating and expressing, of realizing and embodying your divine nature. So go forth from this place with a new understanding, a new commitment. Let the words never complain and never explain be etched upon your heart and mind. Let them guide your thoughts, your words, your actions. For in living this principle, you are not just changing your life. You are changing the world. Remember, the kingdom of God is within you. The power to create, to transform, to transcend is within you. It always has been and it always will be. You need only recognize it, claim it, and live from it. And so, my dear friends, I leave you with this final thought. You are God pushed out into expression. You are the author of your life story. You are the creator of your reality. Never complain about your creation. Never explain your divinity. Simply be who you truly are and watch as miracles unfold in your life. Go now and live in the joyous knowledge of your own divine nature. Create consciously, express authentically, and love unconditionally. For in doing so, you are fulfilling your highest purpose and realizing the truth of your being. Remember, never complain and never explain is not just a principle to live by. It is a gateway to your true self, a path to your highest potential, and a key to unlocking the infinite possibilities that lie within you. Embrace it fully, live it wholeheartedly, and watch as your world transforms before your very eyes. As we come to the close of our discussion, let us reflect once more on the profound implications of this principle. Never complaining and never explaining is not merely a behavioral change, but a fundamental shift in consciousness. It is a recognition of your true nature as a divine creator, as God pushed out into expression. When you cease to complain, you are affirming your power to shape your reality. You are declaring to the universe that you accept full responsibility for your life experiences. This doesn't mean you ignore challenges or difficulties, but rather that you approach them from a place of creative power rather than victimhood. Every situation, every circumstance becomes an opportunity for growth and self-realization. Similarly, when you stop explaining yourself, you are asserting your inherent completeness and worth. You are recognizing that you need no external validation or approval. Your actions, your choices, your very being are a perfect expression of your inner state. In this recognition, you find true freedom. The freedom to be authentically and unapologetically yourself. As you embody this principle in your daily life, you will begin to notice profound shifts. The world around you will start to reflect your new state of consciousness. Situations that once prompted complaint will transform or dissolve. The need for explanation will fade away as you stand secure in your own truth. You will find yourself moving through life with greater ease, joy, and purpose. Remember, my dear friends, you are the operant power in your world. Your consciousness creates your reality. By embracing the principle of never complaining and never explaining, you are aligning yourself with your true divine nature. You are stepping into your role as a conscious creator, shaping your world through the power of your imagination and your assumptions. Go forth and live from this truth and watch as miracles unfold in your life. It is a journey that each of you must undertake alone. For in the depths of solitude lies the key to unlocking the fullness of life, the vastness of your potential, and the true nature of your being. Live alone, live fully. These words may seem contradictory to some. Society has conditioned us to believe that a life lived alone is somehow lacking, incomplete. But I say to you with the utmost conviction that it is in solitude that we find the very essence of our completeness. Consider for a moment the great oak tree. It stands alone in the forest, its roots delving deep into the earth, its branches reaching skyward in a majestic display of individuality. Does the oak tree bemoan its solitary existence? Does it yearn for the company of other trees to feel complete? No, my friends. The oak tree simply is. In its solitude, it grows stronger, taller, magnificent with each passing season. You are that oak tree. Your solitude is not a curse, but a blessing.
a gift that allows you to stretch your roots deep into the fertile soil of your imagination, to extend your branches into the limitless sky of impossibility. Now, some of you may be thinking, but Neville, I feel lonely. I crave companionship. And to you, I say this loneliness is but a state of mind, a product of your imagination. And if it is your imagination that has created this feeling, then it's your imagination that holds the power to transform it. For you see, in truth, you are never alone. You are always in the company of the most important thing in the universe, yourself. Or rather, your inner self, which is nothing less than God individualized as you. When you truly understand this, when you fully grasp that the I am within you is the very essence of creation itself, how can you ever feel alone? How can you ever feel lacking? Let me share with you a profound truth. The world is yourself pushed out. Every person you encounter, every situation you face is but a reflection of your own consciousness. When you live alone, when you embrace solitude, you are given the precious opportunity to shape your consciousness without the constant influence and distraction of others. In this solitude, you can begin to truly know yourself. And in knowing yourself, you come to know God. For are you not told in your scriptures, be still and know that I am God? This stillness, this solitude, is the very gateway to divine understanding. But let us delve deeper into this concept of living alone, of embracing solitude. Many of you may be wondering, how can I live fully if I'm alone? Isn't life meant to be shared? My dear friends, life is indeed meant to be shared. But first and foremost, it must be shared with yourself. For how can you truly share with others if you have not first cultivated a rich inner life? Think of your mind as a garden. In solitude, you are the sole gardener. You have the power to choose which seeds to plant, which thoughts to nurture, and which beliefs to water and tend. Without the constant chatter and opinions of others, you can hear the quiet whisper of your own intuition, the gentle guidance of your inner voice. This garden of your mind cultivated in solitude becomes a paradise of infinite possibility. Here in the quiet of your own company, you can plant the seeds of your deepest desires, your grandest ambitions, your most cherished dreams. And make no mistake, my friends, these seeds, nurtured by the power of your focused imagination, will grow. They will flourish. They will bear fruit in your external reality. For as within, so without. As above, so below. Now, some of you may be thinking, but Neville, isn't this selfish? Shouldn't we be focusing on others? On making the world a better place? To you I say this. There is no greater service you can render to the world than to realize the divinity within yourself. For in doing so, you edit not just your own consciousness, but the consciousness of all humanity. Remember, the world is yourself pushed out. As you transform your inner world through the power of solitude and focused imagination, you automatically transform the world around you. Your very presence becomes a blessing to others, a light in the darkness, a beacon of hope and possibility. In your solitude, you become a living testament to the power of the human spirit, to the boundless potential that lies within each and every one of us. You become a walking, breathing example of what is possible when one fully embraces their divine nature. But let us be clear regarding alone. Embracing solitude does not mean isolating yourself from the world. It does not mean becoming a hermit, shutting yourself away from all human contact. No, my friends. It means cultivating a rich inner life that allows you to engage with the world from a place of fullness, of completeness. When you live alone in this sense, you no longer seek validation from others. You no longer look to relationships, achievements, or material possessions to fill a perceived void within you. Instead, you move through life with a quiet confidence, a deep sense of peace, knowing that all you need is already within you. This is the true power of being alone. The power to be self-sufficient, self-contained, complete unto yourself. It is the power to stand firm in your own truth, regardless of the opinions or judgments of others. It is the power to love unconditionally, without need or expectation. for you have discovered the inexhaustible source of love within your own heart. Now, I can hear some of you thinking, but Neville, this sounds difficult. How do I begin this journey into solitude? My dear friends, the journey begins with a simple decision, the decision to turn within. Start by setting aside time each day for quiet contemplation. It need not be hours. Even a few minutes of focused inner attention can work wonders. In these moments of solitude, practice the art of being still. Let the chatter of your mind gradually subside. Feel the presence of the I am within you. Recognize that this presence, this awareness, is your true self. Eternal, unchanging, all-powerful. As you cultivate this practice, you will begin to notice a shift. The need for constant external stimulation will diminish. The fear of being alone will fade away. In its place, a new feeling will arise, a feeling of profound peace, of connection to something vast and eternal. This is the beginning of living alone, of living fully. It is the recognition that you are complete, whole, and perfect just as you are. It is the understanding that all you seek, all the love, all the joy, all the abundance is already within you, waiting to be recognized and expressed. But let me warn you, my friends, this journey is not always easy. There will be moments when the old habits of seeking fulfillment outside yourself will resurface. There will be times when the silence seems deafening, when the solitude feels overwhelming. In these moments, remember this: you are never truly alone. The entire universe resides within you. Every possibility, every potential experience exists in the infinite field of your consciousness. When you feel lonely, when you yearn for companionship, turn within. Engage your imagination. For your imagination is nothing less than God in action within you. In your imagination, you can experience anything you desire. You can be anyone, do anything, have anything. Imagine yourself surrounded by loving friends, engaged in joyful conversation. Feel the warmth of their presence, the sound of their laughter. Experience it as vividly as if it were happening right now, in this very moment. Then open your eyes and notice how you feel. Notice how your entire state of being has shifted. This, my friends, is the power of your imagination. This is the power that is always available to you, especially in moments of solitude. As you continue on this journey of living alone and living fully, you will discover that solitude is not the absence of relationship, but rather the most profound relationship of all, the relationship with your own divine self. In this relationship, you will find a love that never wavers, a strength that never falters, a wisdom that never fails. You will discover that you are the author of your own life story, the creator of your own reality. And as you embrace this truth, as you live from this understanding, you will find that your life becomes richer, fuller and vibrant than you ever thought possible. For you are no longer living from lack, from need, from the belief that something outside yourself can complete you. Instead, you are living from wholeness, from completeness, from the unshakable knowledge that you are one with the source of all creation. This, my dear friends, is what it truly means to live. Now let us delve even deeper into this profound truth. As you embrace solitude, as you cultivate your world, you will begin to notice a remarkable transformation in your outer experiences. The world around you will seem to mirror the peace and contentment you feel within. People will be drawn to your presence, sensing the quiet strength and self-assurance that emanates from you. Opportunities will seem to arise effortlessly, as if the universe itself is conspiring to support your dreams and desires. This is not mere coincidence, my friends. This is the law of attraction in action. As you align yourself with the truth of your being, as you vibrate at the frequency of your highest self, you naturally attract experiences that match this vibration. But remember, the key to this transformation lies in your ability to maintain your inner state, regardless of external circumstances. This is where the power of living alone truly shines. When you are comfortable in your own company, when you find joy and fulfillment with yourself, you are no longer at the mercy of the ever-changing world around you. You become like a mighty rock in the midst of a turbulent sea, unmoved, unshaken, standing firm in your truth. This energy cultivated in solitude becomes your greatest strength as you move through the world. It allows you to engage with others from a place where you're in love and compassion, rather than need or fear. You see, when you no longer need others to complete you, you are free to love them unconditionally. When you no longer seek validation from the outside world, you are free to express your authentic self without fear of judgment or rejection. This, my dear friends, is true freedom. It is the freedom that comes from knowing who you really are, from recognizing divine power that resides within you. And make no mistake, this freedom, this power is your birthright. It is not something you need to earn or achieve. It is simply waiting for you to claim it, to step into it, to live from it. The journey of living alone and living fully is, in essence, a journey of remembering. Remembering your true nature, remembering your divine heritage, remembering that you are, have always been, and will always be, one with the source of all creation. As you walk this path, you may find that your perception of the world begins to shift. What once seemed solid and fixed now appears fluid, malleable. The boundaries between self and other begin to blur as you recognize the same divine essence in all beings, in all things. This is the dawning of true spiritual awareness. It is the recognition that all of life is interconnected, that we are all expressions of the one infinite consciousness. And yet, paradoxically, it is in solitude that this awareness often first awakens. For it is when we are alone, truly alone with ourselves, that we can hear the whisper of our soul, the voice of our higher self. This voice, my friends, is always speaking to us. It is constantly guiding us, inspiring us, showing us the way to our highest good. But in the hustle and bustle of daily life, in the constant chatter of our minds, and the noise of the external world, this voice is often drowned out. That is why periods of solitude are so crucial. They provide the silence, the space in which we can attune ourselves to this inner guidance. They allow us to recalibrate our inner compass, to align ourselves with our true purpose. Now, some of you may be wondering, but Neville, what about my relationships? What about my family, my friends, my loved ones? To you, I say this, your relationships will only be enriched by your journey into solitude. For as you become more whole, more complete within yourself, you bring that wholeness into all your interactions. You no longer relate to others from a place of need or lack. You no longer seek to fill a void within yourself through your relationships. Instead, you come together in a spirit of sharing, of mutual growth and enrichment. Your relationships become a dance of two complete individuals, each secure in their own being, each bringing their unique gifts to the interaction. This is the foundation for truly fulfilling, truly harmonious relationships. Moreover, as you embrace solitude, as you cultivate your inner world, you become a source of inspiration for those around you. Your very presence serves as a reminder to others of their own innate divinity, their own untapped potential. You become a living example of what is possible when one fully embraces their true nature. And in doing so, you silently invite others to embark on their own journey of self-discovery. But let us be clear, this journey is not about becoming someone new. It is not about changing who you are. Rather, it is about stripping away the layers of conditioning, the false beliefs and limiting thoughts that have obscured your true nature. It is about remembering who you have always been, beneath the roles you play, beneath the masks you wear, beneath the identity you have constructed. In the silence of solitude, in the stillness of your own presence, you begin to touch the timeless, boundless essence of your being. You begin to experience yourself as pure awareness, as consciousness itself. And from this place of pure being, you can then choose how you wish to express yourself in the world. You can consciously create your life moment by moment, thought by thought, choice by choice. This, my dear friends, is what it truly means to live fully. It is to live from the deepest truth of your being, to express the fullness of who you are in every moment. And paradoxically, it is in learning to be alone, in embracing solitude that we become capable of this fullness of living. For it is only when we are comfortable with ourselves, when we are at peace in our own company, that we can bring our whole selves to every situation, every interaction, every moment of our lives. So I invite you, my dear friends, to embrace solitude, to make friends with silence, to cultivate a rich inner life that sustains and nourishes you, regardless of external circumstances. Start small if you must. Set aside a few minutes each day for quiet contemplation. Gradually increase this time as you become more comfortable with stillness, with being alone with yourself. Use this time to explore your inner world, to examine your thoughts, your beliefs, your desires, to connect with the deepest truth of your being. As you do this, you may find that certain beliefs or thought patterns no longer serve you. You may discover limiting ideas that have been holding you back. In the light of your awareness, in the clarity of solitude, these can be gently released, allowing new, more empowering beliefs to take their place. Remember, my friends, your mind is the most powerful creative force in your universe. And in solitude, you have the opportunity to consciously direct this force, to shape your reality according to your highest vision. Imagine, if you will, that your mind is like a vast, clear lake. When the surface of the lake is disturbed by winds, the winds of external influences, opinions and distractions, it becomes difficult to see clearly to the bottom. But in solitude, as you cultivate inner stillness, the surface of the lake becomes calm. The water's clear, suddenly you can see all the way to the depths. You can perceive truths that were always there, but were obscured by the turbulence on the surface of us. This clarity, this depth of perception, is one of the greatest gifts of solitude. It allows you to see yourself and the world around you with new eyes. It enables you to make choices from a place of wisdom and understanding, rather than reacting from conditioning or habit. As you continue on this journey of living alone and living fully, you may find that your entire relationship with life begins to shift. What once seemed like problems or obstacles now appear as opportunities for growth and self-discovery. The ups and downs of life, which may have once tossed you about like a leaf in the wind, now become the very means by which you deepen your understanding, strengthen your resolve, and expand your consciousness. For you see, when you are truly comfortable being alone, when you are fully present with yourself, you bring this presence, this aliveness into every moment of your life. Whether you are engaged in work, interacting with others, or simply sitting in quiet contemplation, you are fully there, fully alive, fully you. This, my dear friends, is the essence of living fully. It is not about the quantity of experiences you have, but the quality of your presence in each experience. It is not about what you do, but how you do it. It is not about what you have, but how fully you appreciate and enjoy what is already here. And all of this becomes possible when you learn to be alone, when you embrace solitude as the gateway to your own divinity. Now I can hear some of you thinking, but never, what about love? What about intimacy? Can we truly experience these if we're focused on being alone? My dear friends, let me assure you, the love you discover within yourself, the intimacy we cultivate with your own being, becomes the foundation for the deepest, most fulfilling relationships you can imagine. For when you love yourself fully, when you are intimate with your own thoughts, feelings, and desires, you no longer approach relationships from a place of need or lack. You no longer seek in others what you believe to be missing in yourself. Instead, you come to each interaction, each relationship, as a complete being, offering the gift of your full presence, your authentic self. And in doing so, you create the space for others to do the same. This is the paradox of living alone and living fully in embracing solitude, in cultivating a rich inner life. You actually enhance your capacity for meaningful connection with others. You become like a cup that's already full, overflowing with love and joy. You no longer need others to fill you up, but rather you have an abundance to share with everyone you encounter. And here's another profound truth. As you embrace solitude, as you become comfortable being alone, you develop a deep sense of self-trust. You learn to rely on your own inner guidance, your own intuition, rather than constantly seeking advice or approval from others. This self-trust becomes your North Star, guiding you through life's challenges and decisions with a steady hand. It allows you to stand firm in your truth, even when others may doubt or criticize you. But remember, my friends, this journey is solitude. This path of living alone and living fully is not a destination to be reached. It is a continuous unfolding, a never-ending exploration of the vastness within you. Each day brings new opportunities to deepen your self-understanding, to expand your consciousness, to express more fully the divine potential that resides within you. And as you walk this path, you may find that your very presence becomes a blessing to others. Without even trying, you begin to uplift those around you, simply by being who you truly are. For you see, when you are fully yourself, when you are living from the truth of your being, you give others permission to do the same. Your authenticity creates a space in which others feel safe to express their own truth, to be their own authentic selves. This, my dear friends, is how we change the world, not through grand gestures or heroic deeds, but through the simple, profound act of being true to ourselves, of living from our deepest truth. And it all begins with the willingness to be alone, to embrace solitude, to dive deep into the infinite ocean of being. So I invite you, my dear friends, to take this journey, to embrace the power of being alone, to discover the fullness of life that awaits you within your own consciousness. Remember, you are never truly alone. The entire universe resides within you. All of the joy, all the wisdom you could ever need is already present in the depths of your being, waiting to be recognized, waiting to be expressed. As you learn to live alone, as you cultivate this inner richness, you will find that your life becomes fuller, more vibrant, more alive than you ever thought possible. You will discover a peace that transcends all understanding, a joy that is not dependent on external circumstances, a love that knows no bounds. This is your birthright. This is your true nature. This is what it means to live alone and live fully. So go forth, my dear friends, into the vast, unexplored territory of your own being. Embrace solitude as your greatest teacher, your most faithful companion. And know that as you do so, you are not only transforming your own life, but you are contributing to the transformation of the entire world. For as you elevate your own consciousness, you elevate the consciousness of all humanity. This is the power of one individual fully realizing their divine nature. This is the power of living alone and living fully. May you walk this path with courage, with joy, with an open heart. And may you discover the infinite treasure that has always been hidden, waiting to be claimed. Remember, my dear friends, you are the author of your own story, the creator of your own reality. In solitude, in the quiet moments of self-reflection, you hold the pen. Write boldly, write beautifully, write the grandest version of your life that you can imagine. For in truth, there are no limits to what you can be, do, or have when you fully embrace the power of your own consciousness. And so as we come to the close of our time together, I leave you with this final thought. The journey of living alone and living fully is the most important journey you will ever undertake. For it is the journey to the very heart of who you are, to the very source of your being. Embrace it with all your heart. Trust in the process. Have faith in your own divine nature. And watch as miracles unfold in your life, as if by magic. For you are the miracle, my dear friends. You are the magic. You are the very essence of life itself, expressing itself in human form. Go forth and live from this truth. Go forth and shine your light. Go forth and be the fullest, most authentic expression of who you truly are. This is your purpose. This is your calling. This is your destiny. And it all begins with a simple, yet profound decision to embrace solitude, to live alone, to dive deep, deep into the infinite ocean of your own being. The journey awaits you, my dear friends. The time is now. The power is within you. Live alone. Live fully. And watch as your life transforms in ways you never thought possible. Thank you, and may you be blessed on your journey. My beloved friends, we have gathered here today to unveil one of the universe's most awakening truths, that the divine source, the boundless creative essence some call God, has a far grander vision for your sacred journey than any limited self-perception you currently hold. Too long, many of you have felt constrained, viewing yourselves through mortal lenses that perceive only boundaries, obstacles, and restrictions. You look out upon your present circumstances and see dead ends, impossibilities, and ceilings capping your greatest ambitions. From this finite vantage point, scripted by the five senses and rational mind, the world can indeed appear to be a cold, uncaring place where dreams go to die, where limitations are harsh facts to begrudgingly accept, rather than inevitabilities to transcend. But what if I told you that these perceived impediments and constraints serve a sacred purpose, that the roadblocks, adversities, and outward deficiencies you encounter have all been actively encoded into your experiential reality by your own eternal, infinitely intelligent soul as spiritual catalyst? You see, you are far more than just animated physical forms, temporary bio-vehicles aimlessly adrift in a meaningless universe. You originate from an unbounded metaphysical dimension of pure consciousness that has dreamed you into this earthly existence for the express purpose of awakening into your incalculable powers of creative mastership. The real you is not the finite mask, the limiting self-position, or fleeting out of circumstances you currently misidentify with. Rather, you are vivific sparkles of the divine mind itself, luminescences of boundless ideation and quantum creativity, simply exploring one of infinite potential dream cycles throughout this present interlude of apparent concepts. Every seeming obstacle, disempowering belief, loss, or feeling of oppressive limitation you've experienced has been a vibrational invitation, stoking the soul embers of your inextinguishable greatness. These apparent Isaiah versus Jericho concerning the supreme creator, remembrances of the illimitable, cosmic authorship, and godlike powers you've always already embodied as a fractal, born reflection of the supreme creator. Without encountering these encoded wake-up calls, reflecting where you've chosen to restrict your own limitless consciousness within this space-time continuum, you would have no impetus to awaken from the dream spell of limitation into your eternal capacities of infinite unfoldment and self-genesis. You were missioned into this three-dimensional reality theater for the precise purpose of transcending its confines through a triumphant rebirth into the boundless expanses of pure creative ideation you eternally belong to as divine sparks of the absolute sovereign awareness. Your entire earthly curriculum and successive reincarnations in this classroom dimension of experience have all been orchestrated by your own infinite soul to allow you to shed programmed amnesias, limiting beliefs, and disempowering vibrations through the sacred alchemy of struggle obstacles and seeming deficiencies you've embraced as awakening triggers. You chose to seemingly forget your indivisibility from the supreme creative source in order to set the heroic stage for your own triumphant re-emergence into cosmic self-mastery. The epic adventure your soul has been on is that of seemingly exiling yourself into finite, constrained states of consciousness, all for the sacred purpose of ultimately outgrowing those limited self-imposed constraints and liberating into infinite expanses of self-created wonderment. You placed amnesia veils around your infinite vision in order to first experience the feeling of smallness, restriction, and apparent external oppression. This would ultimately reinvigorate your atrophied imagination, ignite supreme incentive, and instill the empowered will to create necessary for actualizing your highest ideations. Placed amnesia veils around your highest ideations into material. Can you recognize the exquisite metaphysical craftsmanship in that heroic journey to start from an apparently limited perceptual vantage point, then creatively overcome that illusory restriction through intensifying flexes of imagination and will? By first choosing to experience restriction, you ultimately set the stage for the grand reawakening into your cosmic capacities as co-creators with the original source. So let us no longer lament or judge as misfortunes the adversities, seeming failures, deprivations, existential dead ends, or other encoded experiences of frustration you've encountered. These are not punishments of a cruel universe, but carefully crafted wake-up calls from your own infinite soul. Your consciousness selected this temporal earthly reality to simulate experiences of apparent struggle and limitation as creative catalysts, arousing you more fully awake into your limitless, infinite, deathless, cosmic selfhood. Mamai obdabrahiritahiva. Yes, the challenges and exasperating barriers you've endured all originated as vibrational dispatches encoded into your hero's journey by your own eternally wise soul. Like an infinitely intelligent author, your higher consciousness orchestrated this grand mythic tour through your personal constrictions, precisely so you could transcend each one through profound interior awakenings. Every seeming limitation, fear, insecurity, or disempowering belief that's ever gripped you was a self-crafted initiation into recognizing what infinite powers you've been temporarily obscuring within this narrow band of consciousness. Each apparent disadvantage was a soul-encoded curriculum pushing you to resurrect higher faculties and return to wielding the Creator's capacities innate to your eternal essence. This pivotal understanding transforms each impediment you've faced, every humbling failure or imposing oppression, into crucial awakenings encoded by your own indwelling divine wisdom. Rather than cursing your limitations and restricted circumstances, you can now appreciate them as meticulously laid stepping stones on your heroic path of awakening into cosmic selfhood. So do not weep at the seemingly unjust hands you've been dealt in this existential round. You've chosen these encoded constraints and holy blessings in disguise as a masterful spiritual craftsperson. You seeded them into your consciousness playfield with the foresight of your eternal greatness to inspire you to unearth boundless faculties yet lying dormant. Each seeming misfortune, loss, failure, or humbling ordeal has been an opportunity to unlock more of your indwelling powers through the initiating fires of creative resilience and transcendent self-becoming. What at times appeared as curses were actually coded teachings, carefully calibrated vibrational resonance, designed to propel you along accelerated paths of self-discovery and limitless soul evolution. Instead of perceiving yourself as a disempowered mortal trapped within constrictive circumstances, you can now recognize that on your highest level of being, you are a divine oversoul, fully orchestrating your awakening process through the very illusions of restrictions you've embraced. You chose this present storyline of earthly limitations in order to experience the grandest of triumphant heroes' journeys imaginable, the reuniting with your eternally infinite selfhood and unbounded creative source capacities. So use each seeming impediment, illness and disadvantage as spiritual rocket fuel to unlock your godlike faculties of creative mastership. For you are coated with infinite metaphysical potentialities, far exceeding these narrow bandwidths of perceived physical oppression. You are life's supreme dream weavers, lucid subconscious dreamers, spinning the entire grand physical reality theater from vibrational frequencies originating in your own unbounded consciousness. The seeming restrictions and deficiencies you experience are quite literally tailored experiences you implanted in your reality to shapeshift you into higher octaves of creative majesty. Your higher eternal soul has an infinite vision for you that makes this present level of consciousness seem like a cramped womb space. It dreamed you into this narrow band of focus for the specific purpose of arousing an ecstatic rebirth into your unbounded cosmic nature and infinite co-creative birthrights. What you may often perceive as limitations, oppressive restrictions, or misfortunes are actually metaphysical puzzle pieces, perfectly calibrated by your highest consciousness to initiate you deeper into the mystical realms of unbounded imagination. Each seeming setback empowers and impels your heroic metamorphosis into a liberated co-creator with the supreme source itself. Your greatest deficiency is simply a wake-up call to stop playing small, constrain your visions no longer, and reunite with the supreme source coat of your being from which every cosmic possibility is yours to awaken into. For your authentic self is an immortal, infinite, ideational being of scintillating life, birthing upon itself every minute circumstantial detail you experience. You come from pure creative source consciousness and have chosen to dive into this physical reality stream as an initiation process designed to systematically dismantle all false perceptions of limitation, mortality, and oppression. Every restriction, painful loss, or manifest failure you've endured within this dimension simply serves as energized inspiration, calling forth from within you the floodgates of your eternal self's infinite cooperation, calling forth within you the supreme cosmic self's infinite cooperation, calling forth on your present dimension, simply serves as energized inspiration, calling forth on your present dimension, simply and serves as a, in the future, responsibility to move you into the guidance of a. You did not come to this earthly classroom of limitations to remain trapped in finiteness, but rather to emerge victorious, having liberated your visionary capacity to wield creative source powers in full creative fighting unity with the divine architect. You incarnated here so that you could directly experience limitation, transcend through that ephemeral fire of initiation, and emerge radiantly awakened into self-sculpturing your reality through vivified imagination alongside the Supreme Creator. Do not curse the darkness, my friends, for it has been a crucible tailored by your own highest faculties, planting you firmly in apparent amnesia, finitude, and constraint, so that the fires of your eternal spirit's source creativity could be thoroughly tempered into infinite mastery through this temporal holodream. The divine source has crafted an opportunity for you to essentially act as undercover divinities, entering into amnesiastic simulations of profound restriction and powerlessness, all so that you could victoriously liberate yourself through direct experiential immersions and reclaim your birthright powers of infinite creatorship. All seeming setbacks, pains, deficiencies, containments, and human constrictions have been divinely encoded as portals of awakening into your multidimensional selfhood and cosmic rebirth, into a pure, ideational master of self-created universes. Through this three-dimensional paradigm of obstacles and amnesia, you've won the ultimate initiatory theater for triumphantly transcending all illusions of oppression and finitude as co-author with the original mind. Now celebrate each limitation. Breathe life into every apparent curse, for these have all been carefully seeded spiritual curriculums designed to reunite you with your true cosmic selfhood and reinnate your indwelling capacities of exquisite creative self-genesis. Every adversity births you into expanded octaves of imaginative power and access to higher planes of reality. These have all been carefully seeded spiritual curriculums designed to orchestrate into dwelling in correctnesses. You have only perceived restrictions, constraints, and disadvantages because your soul encoded this heroic journey of overcoming amnesia and initiation into co-creatorship with the original source. See every prior limitation as a sacred puzzle piece in your soul's exquisite orchestration of your rebirth into unified consciousness with the cosmic all-creator. Praise the seemingly disempowering beliefs, fears, insecurities, and disadvantages you've endured, for these served as metaphysical acceleration catalysts, propelling you into the cosmic planes of infinite possibility, unique to your divine monad's supreme self-actualization. They were divine encoded illusions and ephemeral initiations, custom crafted by your eternal oversoul to motivate you into the cosmic planes of infinite possibility, unique to your irreverent minds and human bodies. Your imagination and vibrational frequencies have been systematically kindled through aeonic rounds of limitation, so that you could finally embrace your infinite self, your divine belonging with the Supreme Source itself, and become a fully mastered, empowered co-creator, saturating this three-dimensional reality, holodeck, with the miraculously transfiguring imagery you ideate as divine made flesh. So transcend all three-dimensional appearances and focus inward, shifting into the boundless creative currents of your eternal consciousness as the fractal aspect of the all-mind itself. Reunite with your supreme divine essence and rightful inheritance of realizing any auric envisioning through co-vivifying partnership with infinite source itself. Every failure, constraint, illness, disadvantage, and disempowering belief has been encoded from outside space-time by your infinitely wise soul to reinvigorate your own true nature as a limitless creative being who achieves cosmic mastery through the triumph over amnesiastic illusions. Your three-dimensional initiation has been a masterpiece, orchestration by your highest faculties to birth you into unbounded divinity. This is why no matter how dire your earthly circumstances may appear in the distorted lenses of the finite mind, your eternal self and the divine source have always been upholding a far grander vision for your triumphant attainment than you've previously allowed yourself to imagine. The limitations, constraints, and initiations have all been handcrafted by your highest consciousness as the ultimate series of empowerment trials to return you to full reunion with your infinite co-creative power. You were sent into this earthly reality as an encoded activation process, divinely designed to systematically dissolve all paths' vibrational frequencies of limitation and inspire heroic transcendence into universal selfhood by overcoming successive initiatory challenges. Your disadvantages and flaws have been masterful arrangements of creative catalysts to resurrect your own inner cosmic divinity as self-creator, alongside the source of common self-creation. So let this day mark your rebirth into eternal limitlessness, your reunion with indwelling powers of self-directed infinite creation. No longer perceive your journey through the limited lens of material circumstances and disadvantages, but see with the supreme clarity that all originating illusions have been custom crafted by your highest self to activate you into the unbounded freedom of co-creating universes. Your living tissue give you unconstrained and infinite creation. No longer perceived your journey through the limited lens of material circumstances and disadvantages. Your cultivated levels out of your eternal soul has foreseen from beginningless origins that your triumphant emergence into full co-creativeship with all-pervading source awareness would require amnesia, limitation, and initiatory transcendence over multi-layer cosmic illusions. That the divine blueprint you represent always involved your ultimate victory in liberating into source alchemies of infinite world. You shed any lingering resistances, release any defeatist narratives or attachment to perceived disadvantages in the three-dimensional realm, for these have all been illusions you encoded to propel your heroic journey into infinite self-mastery. The Supreme Source and your own eternal soul have held a blueprint transcending all those fallacies, pains, and ego constraints you've transmuted through. Let your eternal freedom song of limitlessness finally unleash in torrential creativity. Open to the well springs of pure divine ideation you've been coded with since before the first universal breath. Overcome any lingering vibrational conditioning around disempowerment and let the full force of your divine co-creative mastership saturate this physical dimension as a new paradigm of self-created heaven on earth. You have already victoriously emerged from the three-dimensional classroom of limitation after courageously alchemizing all encoded disadvantages into pathways of creative transcendence. At long last, your heroic spirit essence has reunited with your supreme inheritance of cosmic craftsmanship, alongside the All-Source, boundlessly birthing new fractal revelations of ecstatic self-genesis as liberator of infinite parallel universes. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to effortlessly attract everything they desire, while others struggle despite endless effort? The answer lies not in what you're doing, but in where you're placing your attention. Today I'm going to share with you the profound science of manifestation that has been proven in our laboratories. Our research has uncovered something remarkable about human consciousness. When you focus your attention on something specific, you activate neural networks that literally reshape your brain's architecture. But here's what's fascinating. This reshaping isn't limited to your physical brain. Think about the last time you intensely desired something. Our studies show that in that moment, you were generating electromagnetic fields that extended far beyond your physical body. These fields interact with the quantum fabric of reality itself. The laboratory data reveals something extraordinary. When you maintain focused attention on a specific outcome for just 3 minutes, you trigger what we call manifestation sequences in your nervous system. These sequences create measurable changes in your brain chemistry. Our consciousness research demonstrates that what we focus on literally alters our DNA expression. When you direct your attention toward what you want rather than what you don't want, you activate dormant genetic potentials associated with enhanced creation abilities. No. Now, going back to our study, this old awesome thought. Consider this profound discovery from our studies. Your cells are constantly listening to your internal dialogue. Every thought you think creates biochemical changes that either support or inhibit your natural ability to attract what you desire. The brain imaging research shows something fascinating. When you maintain focused attention on your desired reality, you activate what we call quantum coherent networks. These networks synchronize your brain waves with the frequency of what you want to attract. Now, our studies on consciousness reveal that when you persist in holding your attention on a specific outcome, you generate what we call probability fields that actually influence future events. This isn't measurable quantum mechanics. I think about this remarkable finding from our laboratory research. When you focus intensely on what you want to create, you enter what we call manifestation states. In these states, your brain produces specific frequencies that harmonize with similar frequencies in your environment. The data from our cellular studies shows that when you maintain consistent focus on your desired reality, you literally reprogram your body's electromagnetic field. This field extends several feet beyond your physical form and influences the quantum field around you. Our research on neural plasticity demonstrates something extraordinary. When you direct your attention toward what you want to experience, you create new neural pathways that support the manifestation of those experiences. Consider this fascinating discovery. When you focus on specific outcomes with emotional intensity, you generate what we call resonance patterns that attract similar frequencies into your experience. This is pure physics, not philosophy. The speech continues exploring various aspects of focused attention and manifestation. Through scientific understanding and practical application, the neuroscience of attention reveals something profound. When you focus intensely on your desired reality, you activate what we call creation circuits in your brain. These circuits generate electromagnetic frequencies that extend into the quantum field. Our laboratory studies demonstrate that every thought you maintain creates ripples in the fabric of space-time. When you persist in focusing on specific outcomes, these ripples become waves of probability that influence future events. Think about this remarkable discovery. Your nervous system doesn't distinguish between what you're experiencing and what you're imagining with emotional intensity. This means you're constantly broadcasting frequencies that attract corresponding experiences. The research on consciousness shows that when you maintain unwavering focus on what you desire, you enter what we call manifestation zones, states where the gap between thought and reality collapses. Our brain imaging studies reveal something extraordinary. When you direct your attention towards specific outcomes, you activate dormant areas of your brain associated with enhanced creation abilities. Consider this fascinating finding. Your cells are continuously responding to the frequency of your focused attention. When you maintain concentration on what you want to experience, you literally alter your biological expression. The data from our quantum research demonstrates that focused attention generates what we call probability fields. These fields interact with the quantum fabric of reality, increasing the likelihood of specific outcomes materializing. Our studies on neural coherence show that when you persist in holding your attention on desired experiences, you create measurable changes in your brain's electromagnetic field that extend far beyond your physical form. Think about this profound discovery. When you focus intensely on specific outcomes, you trigger what we call synchronicity sequences in your nervous system. These sequences align your internal frequency with what you want to attract. The research on cellular intelligence reveals that your body's trillions of cells respond instantly to where you place your attention. This response creates biochemical changes that either support or inhibit your natural manifestation abilities. He's building something, power manifestation. Consider this remarkable finding from our laboratory studies. When you maintain focused attention on what you want to create, you generate what we call quantum resonance patterns that attract similar frequencies into your experience. Our consciousness research shows that every thought you think creates ripples in the quantum field. When you persist in focusing on specific outcomes, these ripples become waves of probability that influence future events. Think about this extraordinary discovery. Your nervous system broadcasts specific frequencies based on where you place your attention. These frequencies interact with the quantum field, attracting experiences that match their vibration. The data from our brain study reveals that when you maintain unwavering focus on your desired reality, you activate what we call manifestation networks, neural pathways that support the materialization of specific outcomes. Now, research on cellular memory demonstrates that every cell in your body responds to the frequency of your focused attention. This response creates measurable changes in your electromagnetic field that influence probability itself. Consider this fascinating finding. When you direct your attention toward what you want to experience, you generate what we call coherence fields that extend several feet beyond your physical form. The studies on consciousness show that your focused attention creates specific brainwave patterns. These patterns interact with the quantum field, increasing the likelihood of desired experiences manifesting in your reality. Think about this profound discovery from our laboratory research. When you maintain consistent focus on specific outcomes, you trigger what we call probability cascades that influence future events in measurable ways. Our latest research reveals something extraordinary. When you maintain unwavering focus on your desired reality, you activate what we call quantum attraction networks in your brain. These networks generate specific frequencies that shape future probabilities. Think about this remarkable discovery. Every moment of focused attention creates ripples in the quantum field. When these ripples align with your desired outcome, they become powerful waves of manifestation energy. The laboratory studies show that when you persist in directing your attention toward specific experiences, you enter what we call creation states, periods where the boundary between thought and reality becomes increasingly permeable. Our consciousness research demonstrates that focused attention generates electromagnetic fields that extend up to 30 feet beyond your physical form. These fields interact with the quantum fabric of reality in measurable ways. Consider this fascinating finding. When you maintain consistent focus on what you want to experience, you trigger what we call synchronicity sequences in your nervous system. These sequences align your internal frequency with external possibilities. The brain imaging data reveals something profound. Focused attention activates dormant areas of your brain associated with enhanced manifestation abilities. These areas generate specific frequencies that attract corresponding experiences. Our studies on cellular intelligence show that every cell in your body responds instantly to where you place your attention. This response creates biochemical changes that influence your ability to attract desired outcomes. Think about this extraordinary discovery. When you direct your attention towards specific experiences, you generate what we call probability fields that interact with the quantum fabric of reality itself. The research of neural coherence demonstrates that focused attention creates measurable changes in your brain's electromagnetic field. These changes influence the likelihood of specific outcomes materializing in your experience. Consider this remarkable finding from our laboratory studies. When you maintain unwavering focus on your desired reality, you activate what we call manifestation circuits that support the materialization of specific outcomes. Our consciousness research reveals that every thought you maintain creates specific frequency patterns. These patterns interact with the quantum field, attracting experiences that match their vibration. Think about this profound discovery. Your nervous system broadcasts electromagnetic frequencies based on where you place your attention. These frequencies extend into the quantum field, influencing future probabilities. The data from our brain studies shows that when you persist in focusing on specific outcomes, you trigger what we call quantum resonance patterns that attract similar frequencies into your experience. Our research on cellular memory demonstrates that focused attention creates measurable changes in your electromagnetic field. These changes influence the probability of desired experiences manifesting in your reality. Consider this fascinating finding. When you maintain consistent focus on what you want to experience, you generate what we call coherence fields that extend several feet beyond your physical form. The studies on consciousness show that your focused attention creates specific brainwave patterns. These patterns interact with the quantum field, increasing the likelihood of desired experiences materializing. Think about this extraordinary discovery from our laboratory research. When you direct your attention towards specific outcomes, you trigger what we call manifestation sequences that influence future events in measurable ways. Our research on neuroplasticity reveals that focused attention creates new neural pathways that support the materialization of desired experiences. These pathways become stronger with consistent use. The quantum mechanics of focused attention reveals something remarkable. When you maintain concentrated awareness on your desired reality, you activate what we call creation frequencies in your nervous system. These frequencies ripple through the fabric of space-time itself. Our laboratory findings demonstrate that when you persist in holding your attention on specific outcomes, you generate what we call manifestation fields that extend into the quantum realm. These fields influence probability at the subatomic level. Think about this profound discovery. Every sustained thought creates specific electromagnetic patterns. When these patterns align with your desired experience, they become powerful attractors in the quantum field. The research on consciousness shows that focused attention triggers what we call synchronicity cascades, sequences of events that appear random but are actually responding to your internal frequency. Consider this fascinating finding. When you maintain unwavering focus on what you want to experience, you enter what we call quantum coherence states, where thought and reality begin to merge. Our brain imaging studies reveal that focused attention activates dormant neural networks associated with enhanced manifestation abilities. These networks generate specific frequencies that shape future possibilities. The data from our cellular research demonstrates that every cell in your body responds to the frequency of your focused attention, creating biochemical changes that influence your attraction field. Think about this extraordinary discovery. When you direct your attention toward specific outcomes, you generate what we call probability waves that interact with the quantum fabric of reality. Our studies on neuroplasticity show that focused attention creates new pathways in your brain that support the materialization of desired experiences. These pathways strengthen with consistent use. Consider this remarkable finding. When you maintain concentrated awareness and on your desired reality, you activate what we call resonance fields that attract corresponding experiences into your life. The research on consciousness reveals that every thought you hold creates specific frequency patterns. These patterns extend into the quantum field, influencing future probabilities. How do we learn and shift our frequency? Think about this profound discovery. Your nervous system broadcasts electromagnetic frequencies based on where you place your attention. These frequencies interact with the quantum field in measurable ways. Our laboratory studies show that when you persist in focusing on specific outcomes, you trigger what we call manifestation sequences that influence the likelihood of desired experiences materializing. The data from our brain research demonstrates that focused attention creates measurable changes in your electromagnetic field. These changes extend several feet beyond your physical form. Consider this fascinating finding. When you maintain consistent focus on what you want to experience, you generate what we call quantum attraction patterns that draw similar frequencies into your reality. Our studies on cellular intelligence reveal that focused attention creates biochemical changes that either support or inhibit your natural manifestation abilities. Think about this extraordinary discovery. When you direct your attention toward specific outcomes, you activate what we call creation networks that influence future events in measurable ways. The research on neural coherence shows that focused attention generates specific brainwave patterns. These patterns interact with the quantum field, increasing the probability of desired experiences manifesting. Our latest quantum research reveals something transformative. When you maintain pure focus on your desired reality, you activate what we call manifestation potential that exists in every particle of your being. These particles respond instantly to your attention. Consider this final revelation. The electromagnetic field of your focused attention extends into dimensions beyond time and space. In these dimensions, everything exists in a state of pure possibility, waiting for your attention to give it form. The laboratory studies confirm that in the last moments before manifestation, you enter what we call quantum resonance, a state where your internal frequency perfectly matches the frequency of your desire. This is the moment of transformation. Think about this culminating discovery. Your focused attention creates a bridge between potential and reality. When you maintain this bridge through unwavering concentration, possibilities collapse into experience. Our consciousness research shows that in the final phase of manifestation, you generate what we call coherence waves that ripple through the quantum field, bringing your desired reality into physical form. Remember this fundamental truth. You are not separate from what you observe. Your attention is the force that shapes the quantum field into tangible experience. This is not theory. This is proven quantum mechanics. The data from our final studies reveals that when you maintain absolute clarity of focus, you enter what we call creation consciousness, a state where thought and reality become one unified field. Consider this closing insight. Every moment contains infinite potential, waiting for your focused attention to give it direction. Your attention is the key that unlocks these infinite possibilities. In these concluding moments, understand that you are not just observing reality. You are creating it through your focused attention. Every thought you maintain shapes the quantum field into corresponding experience. And so I leave you with this final truth. Your attention is your most powerful tool for creating reality. Use it wisely, direct it consciously, and watch as the universe rearranges itself to match the picture in your mind. Remember, what you focus on expands, what you think about manifests, and what you give your attention to grows. This is not philosophy. This is the science of consciousness itself. Your journey of conscious creation begins now. Every moment is a new opportunity to direct your attention toward what you want to experience. The quantum field awaits your instructions. Trust in the process, maintain your focus, and watch as your reality transforms to match your internal vision. This is your natural power. Use it consciously, use it wisely, and use it now.